Hey, my baby. I'm just getting my little man off of the bus. I'm still on the clock, but I'm dressed, really baggy and all that. Because, when you live in the hood, you can't be showing all your goods because they'll be stalking you at the bus stops. So, gotta be cautious. Extra, extra cautious. So, about to be heading on inside. And once I clock off, we're going to start making these tacos because it's Taco Tuesday. I got my clothes going in the washing machine. I just put all the dirty clothes in the washing machine, so that's our load for the week. And that been coming from the weekend. So I also ran outside, took the trash out. I'm literally just trying to catch my breath because I was literally trying to run because it's starting to drizzle a little bit. And on top of that, the news had broke that out here in East Baton Rouge Parish, they're not going to have any school tomorrow due to the fact that there's going to be a tornado watch. So I don't even know if my internet is going to be able to sustain itself so I could be able to work properly tomorrow for the full 8 hours and get my 9 to 5 money for my check. So my check don't be short on purpose due to the weather. I got some chicken breasts. This is Great Value brand chicken breast, and I'ma just smush this up if I want to do like a little chicken taco just in case. I'ma drain that. We got the Kraft Mac, the Kraft Mexican style cheese. We got the shredded iceberg lettuce. Okay. And I also got 1 pound of lean ground beef. I also have extra seasonings. I got my, let me tell you what I've been obsessed with. Where is it? I'm going back to the Mexican grocery store and I'm going to get some more. I had said this is Hernandez and the video is Herdez. So I'm going to get some more of this Herdez guacamole salsa. I became obsessed with guacamole when I was pregnant with my daughter. I am not pregnant. Let you know that now. I'm not pregnant. I'm on some good birth control. The children watching Bluey. They done been snacking on Lunchables because my son has long guts. Boys have long guts, especially the ones that's getting up to like, my son's about to be 7. So he has long guts. He come home and he can eat 2 sandwiches, 2 ham sandwiches. He could eat 3 bags of chips, 2 bags of chocolate chip cookies, and he could drink a half bottle of a 16-ounce of water. I'd be like, what is wrong? They're feeding you at the school. And he would just smile. He'll just smile. And when I would pack his lunch, he wouldn't even eat that sometimes to eat the school lunch. I love tacos for myself to eat tonight because, oh my God. Baby, one thing these children will do is they will send you. They will send you to the king. 1 flight ticket, baby, first class. First class, you hear me? I'm just like, Lord. And I do all of this unmedicated. All of this unmedicated. And I'm just starting to now realize that I'm blessed when I come. I'm blessed when I go. And it's truly a blessing to be operating on all 10. Elevator going all the way up when you're dealing with little kids. Oh my God. Yet and still, I know that it's tough. It's really, really tough. It's really tough. And I'm saucing this whole burrito up. You hear me? Put that guac sauce on it. Telling you, this guac sauce will change your life. Baby got a big old sloppy ass. Big sloppy taco. Let's say grace. Let me see. There's so much flavor in here. I'm a real big body Benz. I don't have to drive one. I'm gassing up right now. Girl. I hope my future husband ain't watching me eat like a damn dog. Then we go in there with the guac sauce. Ooh. That guac sauce gonna get it right. Okay. Let's say grace.
Now, mind you, I was married for 8 years. So, Barber the Builder literally build until she couldn't build no more. So, what I found to be one of the biggest takeaways from marriage is that anybody could end up being Barber the Builder or Bob the Builder. Because you don't have to have anything for someone to literally feel compelled to just love you, comfort you, be there for you in the way that they see fit. You don't have to have nothing. You know, where I grew up at, I ain't had nothing. So my whole thought process was, you know, I'm going to thug this out with my man. We're going to make it do what it do. And I didn't understand growing up because my mom was a widow. So my mom was married to my dad, and my dad passed away before I was, of course, brought to this world. So the big thing for me with love and relationship and marriage, I didn't really know nothing about it. I never saw a healthy, glowing relationship. Nobody ever reached out to me and talked to me about it while I was a teenager. All I went off of was what I saw on TV. Because none of my friends, none of their mamas was really in no long-term committed relationship or marriage. So I did not have any examples from anybody. So as time started to progress in my marriage, I just wanted to see him be the very best he could be. I literally was pouring. When I tell you I was pouring, I was just like, you know, because that was just my nature at the time. You know, like, you gonna do this, you gonna do that, you know, you could do this, you know. And then as time started to progress along, I started to see that wasn't being poured into me. And if it was, it wasn't as much. You know, it wasn't as much. So I started to get a little bit upset about that, you know, and started to traject what I felt and what I knew, you know, out verbally, like just telling them, like, you don't support me like this and blah, 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 blah. And as time started to progress along, I started to really see that neither one of us was really happy with what we had at the time. You know, we had the kid, brought our son into the world, and he stopped going to church, and it was a lot. Didn't want to, you know, put any effort towards trying to find a new church home. It was a lot going on, you know. And so one of the biggest things that I learned from being Barber the Builder is that it's not for the faint at heart. And oftentimes when you do decide to pour into somebody, and you know, whether they're doing the same for you, you have to have a backup plan. You got to know for sure what you gonna do after, how you gonna follow through. And I think that for me, what really hurt the most with getting my divorce was the fact that I knew that there could have been potential for us to go to therapy and actually heal things, but things is too far gone. And I knew that whoever he was with, you know, they would have not stuck around for all the for who he was before he got what he got, you know. And so I was just like, dang, is the joke really on me? But when time started to progress, I said, no, it's not. It's not. So being Barber the Builder did not go in vain. I learned a lot. And I feel like if I would have never put on my hard hat and took on that task, I wouldn't be mentally and emotionally equipped to be able to understand what I really deserve and what I really want moving forward. So this is not to say that everybody who plays Barber and Bob the Builder in relationships are just naive people. Oftentimes it takes people like us to bring out the best in other people that they couldn't find in themselves. And when our time is done, you know, just growing and strengthening these people, we have to accept that. So you gotta be able to take accountability for the role you played in somebody's life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that was one of the best roles I know I played, and I played it a little bit too well. So yeah, I'm just at a place of just Thanksgiving for everything that I've been through, because I don't have to be sitting up there rewriting the chapter. I could literally let that chapter be. And yeah, I gotta go now, so I'll be back. My daughter is trying to get in here.
I don't be bucking to go waste my time on dates these days, because a lot of these men are still caught up with the infatuation of their ex. I kid you not. And a lot of men don't have boundaries when it comes down to verbal communication with their cell phones. I was out on a date with a guy this past weekend. We went out to go get some Mexican, and he was cool or whatever. Hey, your pedal.
Oh, you gonna give me a big one, huh?
Wait.
It's kind of tough.
It is tough. Let me hold it from the bottom. Nice.
Got it?
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Feel like a rabbit.
This is our first interaction, like physically getting to, you know, talk and everything. We have talked over the phone and all of that, text and stuff. So he was, you know, someone who I was like, you know, you're not about to waste my time calling and texting my phone. We're gonna go out. He was all for it. He was like, I'm gonna plan the date, blah blah blah. I would like to pick you up at such and such. So it was just a lot of that. So we get on out to the place. Baby, the man phone was ringing like hotline firecracker, 4th of July firecracker. Every time you look, and then on top of that, it was the lights from the iPhone just flashing. I said, Lord, now what if I was a girl who took with seizures, and I literally would have had an episode in this restaurant from his phone going off? Then what? You know, it was things like that I was just looking at, sipping on my drink like, this dude is something else. He is something else. So he also started to talk about, as his phone going off, he was answering the phone, talking about something. I'm out on a date right now. You know, I'm gonna give y'all a call back later. I'm gonna give you a call back later. You know, and then the phone will go off again about a minute and 32 seconds later. It's going off again. I'm like, Lord, he had to put his phone all the way at the end of the table, and we were sitting at a booth, so he would not have to touch it, because he felt kind of bad because my phone wasn't going off. And I'm just like, bruh, you know, do not disturb. It's free on the iPhone to use at your discretion, or even just turning your ringer off on your phone. It's free to use at your discretion, you know what I'm saying? And actually putting your phone on the seats of the booth and just sliding it down, that would even been better. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know who actually out here with seizures or whatever, and your phone just lighting up and blinging and going off, and you don't know what could flare somebody up. You just don't know. So I'm just looking at the guy, you know, we talking, he on the date just complimenting me down about, you know, oh my God, you're so beautiful. What was these guys thinking? Oh my God, all of that smoozing-ish. And I'm just like, dude, you know, what are you getting out of this? What do you really want with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you really want? So he got to talking while we was on a date. Probably like after we had got our drinks. Because he wanted a shot so bad. Once he started to get that tequila in him, oh, that man became a brand new creature. He was like, you know, because you're different than a lot of women I know, you know, and I respect you already for who you are. And I respect women because, you know, my mom da-da-da-da-da and stuff like that. So then he was like, you know, and he said, you know, you got to also be more than just a pretty face. I said, well, what you mean? Can you elaborate? So he was just like, because my ex, you know, she had green eyes, you know, like real deal green eyes. So I'm just looking at him, you know, all his head starting to sweat because he had a bald head. And so he was like, you know, because, you know, she had green eyes almost like a reptile. And so I'm sitting across the table, of course, just, you know, swirling my little drink around with the little red straw, like, okay. And he was like, you know, like a reptile. I said like a green goblin. So he was like, yeah. So he taking it, you know, sipping more of his drink, taking his shot, chasing it. And he was like, she used me for my money. That's all she wanted me for, my money. And so he was like, because I do well for myself. You know, I make good money. I make $30 an hour. So he started talking about what he do for a living. Ain't nobody asked. So he started talking about what he do for a living, showing me his cars that he showed her, telling me how they work on the same job, telling me how he moved the chicken to his place, telling me how he thought that her moving in would have been better for her because it was closer to the job, telling me that he took her out on a trip to Cabo, and while they was at the airport, her friends was with them, and she was telling all her friends in front of him how he gonna pay all her bills, he gonna make sure they straight on the trip, he gonna buy all of their drinks, and he gonna run it up. Big money don't fold. So he was just like, she was talking all kind of stuff about me. I said it was inflating your ego, wasn't it? So he was just like, well, I'm like, just say it was. You know, it's not hurting me. Like, you ain't my man. Like, it's said and done, right? You want to date. You want to talk about it. So I'm just like, what have you learned? So I'm on my Alanya. Can't even get it out. I'm on my Yolanda, fix my life situation with him. I'm just like, so what did you learn? You know, you want to bring up the Green Goblin. Can you please tell us what have you learned? To not take things at face value. And I'm just like, okay, so you're already, you know, judging me? He was like, no, I'm not. And he was like, I'm just saying that, you know, I have to learn that just because she got a pretty face, that don't mean that she the type of girl that I should just want to, you know, spend it all on and spend it all for. And he was like, because I've never been the type of guy where I always took face value. He said, I always search for depth, but then people, they fake so much about who they are. So he going in all of this great detail. But let me remind you, this all came about because he wanted to talk about his ex. And this is why, you know, I'm just at a position of, I don't want to sit on no date and talk about no man I done been with. He even got to talking about child support and how his ex-wife from 4 years ago put him on child support recently. So I'm just like, you know, I understand all of that, but I'm not about to sit up here and literally downplay on my ex-husband because I put him on child support. Like, I don't have nothing to talk about with no child support. I don't want to talk about my children while I'm out on this date with this very first date with you. I'm trying to get to know you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to know whether or not you have potential for me to want to continue to physically see you. Answering the phone, answering the text message is one thing, but we literally have to have some kind of compatibility outside of, oh, we both divorced, we both got 2 kids, a boy and a girl, both of our kids are around the same age, and we don't live that far away from one another. We gotta have more. I understand you military and I'm not, but I'm not about to sit up here and literally talk circles all day around where have you been. If I would have met you 10 years ago, I'm like, we would have been divorced. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these dudes, they just like to talk, to hit themselves. And all the Green Goblin talk about how fine she was and how you fine too. I just don't want to get myself hurt. That did me in. That did me in. You know what I'm saying? So I'll let y'all know about the next date, because there will be a next date. Hopefully it's not nothing negative that happens, but Lord, I don't really know. Like, sometimes you just gotta let people talk and not interfere. Let them run their mind, let them feel good, because you just don't know what people be going through. Like, some people, they don't have nobody that's literally gonna sit on the phone and listen to them, but when they get in person, they could trauma dump like a mug. So yeah, so for that, I'm still single, still out here dating as I feel fit to, and enjoying the sport. You know, enjoying the sport, because I love to get to know new people. I'm a writer. I love creating characters with a lot of these crazy folks. So yeah. What can I say? Until the next video, y'all. Baby, we shall see what happens next with A Life at the Moment with Linda Lynn.